What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to be starting my Glory of the Hellfire Raider Achievement Guide series. Now, this is going to be part 1 of 3. Parts 2 and 3 will be coming out pretty soon, but in part 1 here, we're going to look at the first 5 bosses. We're going to look at Hellfire Assault, Iron Reaver, Kormrok, I think that's how to pronounce it, Hellfire High Council, and last but not least, Kilrogg Deadeye. I know a lot of you guys probably haven't done these fights before at all, and so this is like very early on in the tier, first week, and so I'm going to explain some normal mode mechanics as well, but I'll try and explain the achievement-related mechanics very early on, so if you already understand normal mode mechanics, you can go through to the next achievement, and I will have links in the description for whenever each one begins. And so anyway, let's start with the first fight here, Hellfire Assault. What you have to do is you have to make sure that your cannons do not go under 90% health. It's very easy how to do that. If there's a tank, kill the tank. That's it. I could cut the video right now, and that's all you really need to know. But honestly, I'll explain kind of what's going on here. So in a minute here, there's going to be first tank come out. There's, I think, like 3 different kinds of tanks. These are called the Flame Belchers. Now, Flame Belchers, like, I'm not really entirely sure which ones actually kill the cannons and which ones don't. I don't even think the Flame Belchers do, but we have, like, as I said, a really, really easy strategy. Kill the tanks. It's very simple. The real tanks that you need to worry about, and they're not really coming out yet, but they will, are called the artillery, and they're going to break through those little 2 barricades on the side, and you need to make sure that you're already there, like ready to kill them, before they even actually spawn, and so just so you can get as much damage as possible. Now, on top of that, you need to also be controlling the ads, and mainly the only 2 really ads you need to worry about are the Gorebound Fellcasters, and whenever they reach 50%, they cast a thing called Metamorphosis in normal mode, and by the way, I'd like to say that in this group, I would say the average item level is about 700, like between 700 and 705, definitely not above 705, and definitely not below, probably like 696. And so just so you guys can get an idea, and honestly, like the Fellcasters are the only ones that you really need to worry about, and in normal mode you really shouldn't need to worry about those at all. Now here's the second tank right here. It's called the the Hellfire Crusher. Now you don't want to stand in front of it because it knocks you back, and also it rotates fire. It shoots fire out like the little flamethrowers, which hit melee. I wouldn't really worry about that too much, honestly. As long as you pretty much know what you're doing, you're not really going to take too much damage, and on normal mode you can still just pop a cooldown and kill them regardless. Now, whenever the Hellfire, the casters there, the ones that turn into, they go into Metamorphosis phase. They cast Metamorphosis, you can't stop them from casting it, and whenever they cast it, they spam like an AoE on everybody, and so whenever one of those guys does go into Metamorphosis form, you want to make sure to go ahead and kill them, switch off and prioritize them. Now, usually you would prioritize them over anything else, but because obviously we're going to be doing the achievement, the only thing you would really want to prioritize over them whenever they're in Metamorphosis phase is one of the artillery cannons. Now, this is the first one, as you guys can see. It broke through on the left side, and you have to kill it very, very quickly before it casts any of these Hellfire artillery blasts on your tank. Now, this really shouldn't be too big of a deal for you guys, and as you can see, my 2-minute cooldowns are already up, and so you can use your 2-minute cooldowns on the pull in order to kill the mini boss, and then have them up for the first artillery. And so just make sure that you're there whenever it's going to spawn, and you're going to be able to kill it. It's going to be no problem. Don't really worry about it too much. And also, the engineers put bombs on the ground. I think they stun people as well. The Gorebound Fellcasters also cast a Incinerate. Don't really worry about that. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. They also cast a Shadow Barrage to everybody else. It's like basically the same thing that they're going to spam cast whenever they're in Metamorphosis form, but whenever they are in Metamorphosis form, you can't interrupt them, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But honestly, guys, this is really it's like imagine like if you're doing Galacrass, but you killed Galacrass in the first like 10 seconds of the fight because you did the the heroism, and it's done. I think I probably said that before. I had to cut this video a ton of times. Anyway, this fight is extremely easy is what I'm really trying to get at. It's probably even easier than doing like Heroic Gruul and in Blackrock Foundry, and so I wouldn't really worry at all. And again, like if you see those Gorebound Terrors and the casters here, Fellbound casters, I guess they change names whenever they go into Metamorphosis form. Don't really worry too much about it. And by the way, also click on those little green boxes, and whenever you click on them, you just run up to your cannons and you click on your cannons, and it's like kind of you're giving your cannons ammunition to break down the doors, because that's pretty much what's going on here. And this is a really cool fight. I really like this fight, honestly. Regardless of it being like, I guess, like kind of boring or very easy, I think it's very it's like kind of like critical in like attacking the Hellfire Citadel, because like you break in the main gate, and then like you get in these 2 main cannons, and then like they're trying to stop you, but you're using their cannons against them. It's pretty fucking badass when you think about it. And so I'm gonna kind of give it a pass for how easy it is. Now, you also don't want to stand in bombs, but you know what happens if you do? Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's normal mode. It's the first boss. And also these hulking berserkers spawn. I don't even know what they do, and you really shouldn't have to worry about it. Now, whenever you're calling out the tanks, one thing that I made sure to do is I wasn't really focusing too much on DPS here. I was focusing mainly on just watching to see see right there, as soon as that thing spawned, I told everybody, yo, get ready, because some shit is about to go down, and this is the artillery. So right now, I'm already getting ready to hit this next artillery cannon. I'm getting there in position, and as soon as it pops out, it's going to be dead. It's going to be no problem. Now, you really shouldn't need heroism to use these, and they break right through the gate here, and you really should only need to kill 2 of these, and that's going to be it. Now, this thing, it died before it even started its first cast, and so we had more than enough time. So, guys, it's really not too big of a deal. If you're having trouble with this achievement, just call it a day, because the other ones are significantly harder. Like, we one-shot, I think we one-shot everyone in this video except for the Don't Fear the Reaper, which is the Hellfire High Council video. Not video, achievement. And it's still in this video, however. And basically, you just pretty much do this until it's over. I don't even really know how it even really tells. I guess right there, oh yeah, I guess since there's like a bar with the health bar and health bar went down, I guess that's probably a pretty good way to figure it out. Anyway, so that's really how to get this achievement. Just make sure that you pretty much have those cannons under control, or the tanks under control, and really the artillery tanks are the ones that you really need to worry about. Those are the ones that are actually going to fail it for you. Now, the second achievement here is called Turning the Tide. I think that's what it's called, yeah. Turning the Tide, and it's a straight single target fight, so as you guys can see, I'm respecing for single target damage, and it's very kind of odd the way that this one works, and there's a couple of little tricks to this, and you can kind of, if you don't do the mechanics correctly and in order, you can take a lot of damage that you don't really need to. Now, what you're really going to need to do here is on both sides of the Iron Reaver, 5 ads spawn, and they're untargetable and you can't hit them. And what you need to do is have the Iron Reaver hit them with her barrage. I guess it's a her because it's driving it, but I don't think robots have a sex. And so anyway, as you guys can see right there, barrage is facing, as you guys can see, also those 2 ads, and 2 of them just died right there. And so that makes it a whole lot easier. Now, it's really, really important here that you have your boss mods on, so you don't get hit by an unstable orb and have everybody in your group take damage from it. Now, is this fatal damage? It depends. I mean, I've got some really good players in this group, and so shout out to all my boys who helped me do this. And by the way, I still need to do the Manaroth and Archimon achievement, and so let me know. You have to be 700 plus though if you want to do this. But anyway, again, another targeted barrage, and we could have probably hit 3 of them, and that would have been a little bit easier. But we're going to hit this last guy, and then it's not really going to be too big of a deal. It's really kind of important that as soon as he's about to cast barrage, or she's about to cast barrage, that you stand all in a little pile, and so whenever she casts barrage in a direction, there's a high chance it'll cast in a direction that it actually needs to be in to actually hit the guys that you need to hit. And I'm not even really sure what their names are. Hellfire Guardians, and they're not really targetable. You can't really, it's not like you can hit them with AoE or anything like that. You have to have the the Iron Reaver actually hit them, and it's really not going to be too big of a deal. You're probably going to have to go through 1 air phase here, and really the only problem, some of the things that you can run into having happen here are if you have an unstable orb hit you, and then she casts Pound, and Pound is kind of like the XT Deconstructor. As you guys can see right there, that almost wrecked us, and so we all got stacks of that, but we have as a kid really, really great healers in this group, and so we were able to deal with it. But this is again something like that. If something like this happens, make sure you use pretty much everything you have. I use an Enrage regen. I'm a scrub, so I didn't use a potion, but that would be hypothetically what a good player would do in this situation. Now, you're usually going to have to go through at least 1 air phase, which is not really too big of a deal. Now, I would recommend just burning her down all the way down to about 5 million health or something like that. A very low percentage, 5 to 10%, just enough to where tanks can damage her for the rest of the time, but nobody else really needs to. And other than that, it's not really going to be too big of a deal. Just so if you do have people die at the last minute, it's not game over. And I sped through the air phase. Basically, what she does in air phase, kill the bombs, make sure you don't stand in the fire. And she does bombing runs. She puts the oil down, then she sets the oil on fire. Make sure that you're not on top of it. It's very easy to deal with. She also puts artillery on people. Usually she only puts that on the tanks, but in the air phase she puts it on anybody. If you get artillery on you, just make sure that you run to the edge of the room. She also does that falling smash. And if you really are, if you're really just so dumb that you get hit by that, you're gonna die. Okay, and you deserve it too, by the way. And so just make sure whenever she does the falling slam that you're not in a circle, okay? It's really, really important. And again, so we're moving on to the other side, and we're going to hit those other 2 guys, and there they are. We got 2 of them, I think 2 or 3. and so that really kind of made things a little bit easier for us. Everybody was in the right position, and this was our first pull of ever doing this, and so we weren't really entirely sure what to expect, what was going to happen, and so that's why things were a little bit sloppy at the beginning. But as an indication of how really difficult is this going to be, not very. And so again, we're stacking up because Barrage is about to go out, and these timers seem to be pretty reliable, and I'm using big wigs, by the way, and so it's very important that somebody has that on, because again, we got that unstable orb, and it hit a couple people more than it really needed to. And so again, like right now, we had a barrage that went the wrong way, and so we could have potentially ended the fight right there. And so again, it's just all about grouping up, spreading out, and everything like that, just to make sure that you know what you're doing and kind of everything else in between. And honestly, this one is really, really easy. Like, all of the achievements in this video, except for the Hellfire High Council one, are extremely easy to do. I would assume that any group that's even halfway coordinated, I would definitely recommend having Vent for doing this, though, because it's like it would be such a big headache for not having Vent. And if you're looking for a place to use your raid cooldowns, I would almost I would save them. I wouldn't even use them on pounding, and I would wait till inevitably somebody gets hit by the unstable orb. See right there, we all got hit again, and so there's barrage in the direction we needed it to be, but we all got hit by the unstable orb. So we're just trying to stay alive. I think a couple people die right at the end here, but we get it done. And so after you kill all 10 of the people, and as you guys can see, I'm tracking it as well, and so that's something you can do. And there it is. Achievement is done. Really, this is about just making sure everybody's aware of the timers, and when barrage is going to go out, and also position correctly whenever barrage does go out, so they don't obviously get a barrage in the wrong direction, making the fight have to take longer. Now, this achievement is actually really easy. Waves came crashing down all around. This is from Kormrok, and the way that we're going to be doing this, I'll explain how the achievement works. It's a personal achievement, so don't worry if there are idiots in your group, and all you have to do is not get hit by the purple waves that he spawns, and so it's very, very easy to do. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting him at green, and the reason for that is because he doesn't actually, he'll go to green to orange at this point, and if we move him closer to orange after we get him to green. And the reason for that is whenever he goes to the purple pool, he empowers the I don't even really know what the name of it is. I guess it's like basically their waves. And so stack up for the damaging hands. Now, whenever you're next to somebody with damaging hand, it can actually damage you. It does damage to you, and so you might want to use like a small raid cooldown. But as you guys can see, it didn't really take us past like half health, and so don't really worry about it too much. Also, Kormrok does crushing hand on a tank, and so make sure you kill that as well. And the difference between the grasping, the dragging hands, and the normal hands that he casts, which are exactly pretty much the same as Kormrok hands, is that the grasping, the dragging hands, drag you towards one of these pools, and the pools do damage to you whenever you in them. It's basically like lava. And so anyway, he also does these transitions based on a fixed timer, and so it's like every, I don't know, 2 minutes or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's a minute and a half or so. Yeah, it might be about a little bit more in like two or 3 minutes. So here I want to explain right now. Here is where the purple pools are, and the purple waves are. And so you guys can see they're very, very easy to dodge, and they come out of the purple pool. And so if you're a green, they're very, very easy to see. And by the time they actually get over to green, they're going to be no problem. Also, he casts those explosive runes. Make sure you have your range get in them. If you have to go into the yellow phase, make sure your range are faced towards the middle of the room, because you have to make all the explosive runes go to the middle of the room. And there's really no way to tell except for just taking time and figuring it out. Also, whenever he does that slam thing, make sure that you're spread out, because it does more damage. It's kind of like a gruel shatter effect, and so whenever it hits you, it does like an AoE around you, and so you want to make sure that you don't have that happen. And also, so make sure you're not stacked up whenever he's about to cast dragging hands, and then oh surprise, he's casting what was it? The smash, not smash. The crush thing, the stomping thing. And anyway, so there's another set of dragging hands. We really didn't take too much damage there again, and so don't really worry about stacking up. And there he is. He's going to be jumping over to yellow, and so we're never really going to have to worry about all three of the different pools, because whenever he goes into purple phase, what he's going to do is he's going to have not only waves coming from purple, but they're also going to be coming from green and from yellow at the same time. And so it's a really big clusterfuck, and the probability of getting hit is obviously higher, and this is going to be the most fail-safe way of getting it done. And we actually one-shot this achievement Also, actually, yes, we did one-shot this achievement, and it was no problem whatsoever. You just really want to pop all of your cooldowns at the start. Focus pretty much strictly in a single target. I mean, like, I would love to Blade Storm those Dragging Hands, but I didn't because I knew we wouldn't really need it. And anyway, again, like, we have obviously pretty high DPS, but even if you don't have very high DPS, you probably won't actually need to go into the purple phase, and if you do, just make sure that you don't get hit, because again, this is a personal achievement, and so don't really worry too much about this one. A lot of people got this on their first try. As you guys see, this was not my first try, and I just got it now, so I was kind of an idiot the first few times that we did this. Now, this is the first hard one. It's called Don't Fear the Reaper, and it's very simple and non-complex achievement. You have to make sure that all three of the guys here, Dia Dark Whisper, Gurtog Bloodboil, and Blademaster Jubithos, which is like a council fight, and well, it says right there because it's Hellfire High Council. Yeah. And so anyway, you need to make sure that all three of them die within 10 seconds of each other. Now, we had a real butt clincher at the end, and I'll show you guys what happened there. Make sure that you have Gurtog and Blademaster tanked by one tank, and make sure that you have Dia Dark Whisper tanked on the other side. Whenever Gurtog or Blademaster is near Dia, they don't take any damage, and so you need to make sure that they're separated, so you can't just stack them up and just do whatever. Gurtog also does Fell Rage, where he targets a random player and starts attacking them. You can't really prevent this, but you can bop them and use raid cooldowns on them, like Vigilance and Rallying Cry, I guess, if you want, or a Hand of Sacrifice, anything like that. You really shouldn't worry about Fell Rage in normal mode, though. It doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, and even without any cooldowns, you should be able to survive it just fine. Blademaster Jubithos throws his sword backwards and forwards, and so you don't really need to worry about that either. It does very minor damage. One thing you do kind of need to worry about is Dia Dark Whisper does a debuff that's similar to Rack that Sindragosa Sinestra does, and it does like more damage over time the longer players have it. And after a while, she'll cast Reap, and every player that has Rack on them, or not Rack, Mark of the Necromancer, which is the same as Rack, every player that has that on them, they'll put like a little circle on the ground, like that rune thing, and that will last for the entire fight. And so it's very important that whenever she's about to cast Reap, everybody that has Mark of the Necromancer moves out of the raid in order to make sure that they don't obviously get hit by it. And also after that, she'll go into like this shadow phase where she has these ghosts go around. And see there, Gurtog went over to Dia, and as you guys can see, I can no longer damage Gurtog. Now, the best way to handle splitting DPS here, and I should also say something else that's very important, is Gurtog, Jubithos has more health than both of the two of them. Gurtag has more health than Dia, and Dia has less health than both of them. And so, like from highest to lowest, so it'd be Jubithos, Gurtog, and Dia Dark Whisper. And there is actually a pretty big disparity between the health of the highest Jubithos and Dia. And so you want to make sure that they're not only, at the same percentage, but when they're very low health, then they're actually at the same number of health, like, like 5 million, 3 million, 7 million, 10 million. And so you can accurately judge, because of course 10% of like a lot more health, like 10% of like 50 million is more than 10% of 40 million, and so just be aware of that as well, so you don't have any unexpected surprises. Now at 30%, each of the different ones does like their own like kind of ultimate ability, and the way that you do this normally is you don't really need to deal with all of them at the same time, but obviously the achievement is you have to deal with all of them at the same time, which is not really too hard to do because obviously you're doing this on normal mode. Jubithos also does this thing where he splits off into a bunch of different versions of himself. Now, you should probably make sure that he doesn't do this during the push phase into 30%, and make sure they all enter 30% at the same time. Now, whenever Gurtog enters 30%, he does a stacking debuff on people that lowers their maximum health. Whenever Jubithos does goes into 30%, I'm not really sure exactly what he does, but he just basically does more damage to other players, and it's not really something that's like really that you really need to watch out for or that you can counteract. It's just what happens. Whenever Dia goes into 30%, she puts more of the marks of the Necromancers on everybody, and it becomes a much more difficult because obviously these dots are stacking on everyone, and at this point it's a very big burn phase. And so whenever they got low enough health, we decided to pop Hero, and this is when you should save Hero whenever they're low health, and pop all your cooldowns. I would say around 10%, and at this point, like, I'm just kind of like making sure that everything's going the right way. And, again, just make sure that one doesn't die too far ahead of time and one doesn't die, too late. And also, Blademaster sometimes will die a little bit late. And so I would recommend to kill Blademaster first instead of actually killing the other two first. And as you guys can see right there, that was like, we were so worried because he didn't die there for a few seconds. I don't know why that happened. I think it's like some kind of a bug or something. But in order to prevent that from happening, I would recommend just making sure that you just kill Blademaster first, make sure that he's dead, and then kill the other two, and it would be no real problem. problem. Again, like the only real things you need to worry about here are just the heavy damage at the end, and so make sure that you might want to bring an extra healer and high burst damage classes at the end so you can just burn them down and have no real trouble whatsoever. Now, luckily enough, Kilrogg Deadeye, this achievement is extremely easy, and what do we do this fight in? It's like 4 minutes or something like that. You have to finish this fight, I think it's in like 5 minutes and 15 seconds. You have to basically do it. Ariok is going to take damage over time, as you guys can see. He's the one with the X over his head, and you need to make sure that you kill Kilrogg Deadeye before Ariok dies. It's very simple. And so really this is a speed kill. That's really all there is to it. Just make sure that you kill them as fast as you can. There really shouldn't be too much trouble. Make sure you get Heart Seekers to the back of the raid. What Heart Seekers do is they spawn like this this like blood puddle thing or blood thing. It's like a globule that runs to Kilrogg Deadeye, and you need to make sure that you kill it. Also, those like salivating or something like that. Bloodthirsters are going to run towards the middle of the room where Ariok is. Make sure that you kill them. They can be slowed, stunned, and death gripped back. And make sure you kill them before they get to the middle of the room. And the reason for that, not the middle, but like the front of the room. And the reason for that is if they do, then they turn into like these hulking berserkers, and it's just kind of a pain in the ass. It's not really the end of the world, but it's just, again, a pain in the ass. He also does Visions of Death. This is a really cool mechanic, and he sends 3 players down into this new phase. And you're going to have ads that come in and kind of attack you until you die. And so you're really going to get a stacking buff here, and it's going to stack up to 20. Well, it's actually a debuff, but it's a buff because it makes you do more damage. And whenever you get up to 20 stacks, just let yourself die and go back into the other phase. And then you're going to be able to go back into the normal phase with, was it 200% extra damage. And so make sure that whenever you do this, you have your highest, your biggest hitters. Like I probably shouldn't have even gone down here because I was like kind of trying to raid lead. But, see, now I have 20 stacks. I'm just going to get myself killed. And I'll come back and I'll have 20, plus 200% damage. And it's like really awesome to get this done. But make sure that you have people going down there who are very, very high damage. Usually we just had a tank, a healer, and a DPS go down. And you shouldn't really have trouble doing this. We even got this achievement on heroic, and so as like kind of an indication for how difficult really is this. It's not very, and I think I've killed Kilrogg Deadeye I think 3 times, and each time I've been able to get the achievement without really too much trouble. And so I wouldn't really worry too much about it. Besides that, this fight is actually extremely easy to do. It's more of like an ad control fight, but the ads are very easy to kill too. And so it's really a nothing it's really a nothing control fight. I'm going to assume that this fight's going to be very easy even on Mythic. I guess it's like kind of one of the early bosses, but easier than I would expect it to be. I think like the first hard boss will be not Blood Boil, but Gore Fiend. Gore Fiend is just the worst. And there's a hulking terror. Whenever he spawns the salivating bloodthirsters, one of them spawns in the middle, and so you can see kind of what's going on. Also, he does that death throw. Usually those little swirlies don't spawn in melee, so don't worry about them. But if you do have a swirly under you, just move away. It does more damage to you the farther in, closer to him that you are. And the Blood Terror, don't really worry about them too much. Again, just make sure that you kill them. I think they do a cast, like as a general rule, because there's nothing else you really have to interrupt. Just make sure that you interrupt those casts. And that's really pretty much all it is for this one. The first 5, like really, guys, the real bottleneck for this meta is going to be, again, like see that blood globule got really close to Kilrogg. Make sure you do not let that happen. But again, the real bottleneck for this one, I think, is going to be the we did the Manaroth one and we got him to like 5% or something like that. And really, like it's not really that hard at all. I think the Archimon one is going to be very difficult, and also the Iskar one is going to be very difficult. But for these right here, this is how you get the achievement: Race Against the Slime, and you just have to kill him relatively quickly. I think the timer is 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And as you guys can see, he had 50% health left, and so he had more than enough. Wasn't really too big of a deal. So anyway, guys, that's part 1 of the Glory of the Hellfire Raider achievement guides, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys parts 2 and 3 pretty soon. And so that's pretty much all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.